So we're going to go over some laws of Hanukkah. Okay, so it's based on the book of our heritage. Right, very concise, but with a lot of details, and we're going to explain. So it says Hanukkah, the eighth day of the festival of Hanukkah, begin 25th of Kislev, which is tomorrow night. BeEzrat HaShem. Right, lights are kindled every evening for the 8 days of the holidays. As the sages say, Shabbos 21b, ask what is Hanukkah? Right, the rabbis taught from the 25th day of Kislev, 8 days of Hanukkah are observed, during which eulogies are not made and fasting are not permitted. So those are holidays that you actually can work, but some we have to observe some festivities, which is what? Of course, we don't say Tachanun, of course, there is no vidui, of course. We say Tachanun, we say Halal, but we're going to see. And there are no eulogies, okay. Right, no eulogies are made, fasting not permitted. For when the Greeks entered the sanctuary, they defiled all of the oils they used for kindling the menorah. And when the Hashmonean house prevailed and defeated them, they searched and found only one jar of oil, which was sealed with the seal of the Kohen Gadol. And this jar had the oil sufficient only to burn 1 day. So that's this famous miracle. Of course, the jar was not there. As we know that these Greeks, they did a very good job in defiling all of the oil. Right, but Hashem made sure that we had oil. So that's what we have to believe in and live every day of our life. We do everything we can, but remember that Hashem can bless our endeavors. Maybe yes, maybe not, but still you must do whatever we can. Right? So they searched, and they found. But the miracle, right? So it was sufficient only for 1 day. Like a little jar, but lasted for 8 days. But the miracle occurs and the oil burned for 8 days. The next year, the sages designated the 8 days as the festivals, right? Which is a song, praise, and thanksgiving. So, and we're going to see later, maybe not today, but we'll see when. So, why exactly they had to wait all 8 days, the next year? Okay. During the period of the second Beis Hamikdash, the Greek kings issued harsh decrees against Israel, outlawing their religious practices and forbidding them to engage in study of the Torah and practice of the mitzvahs. So, on one hand, yes, it was from the Greek kings, as we're going to learn, BeEzrat HaShem. But on another hand, it came from advice of bad Jews, of Zionists, of these not religious Jews. They want to be like Greeks. They want the stadiums. They want to be like Europeans. What is the problem? Let be culture. Okay, who needs this Torah? Unfortunately, that's where it came from. They stole their money, right? Meaning these Greeks, stole their money, and their daughters entered the sanctuary and ravaged it. Defiled all that was ritually pure. They caused Israel great anguish and oppressed them until the God of our forefathers had mercy upon them and delivered them and saved them from the hands of the enemies. So before we continue, so that's so these Greeks, these cultural people, this with the Senate or whatever they have, with democracy, Greek democracy, all of the Greek philosophers, they were like another savages, like nothing, nothing separated them from animals, right? And these Greeks, with their culture, they were bothered very much by the holiness, with purity of the Jewish people. All of the people, all of these people who went against the Jews. Right, that they were bothered with the purity, with the sanctity, and that as it says, they tried to impurify everything that was pure. And they knew if this non-Jew would touch it, so it would not be pure. Or they sacrifice, I think they kill a pig on top of the altar. The Hashmonaean house, the Kohanim Gedalim, prevailed and killed them and saved Israel from their hands. And they designated a king from among the Kohanim, and the kingdom of Israel was restored to the more than 200 years until destruction of second Beis HaMikdash. So it was a great victory, as we understand. But this Hashmonaeans, of course, they were great heroes, but they did one miscalculation because in what area? Because they thought maybe Torah should change. Right? But Hashem was very serious when he said, Torah never going to change. My Torah is ideal. It should never change. So when Hashem said that only kings from Yehuda, right from Yehuda, not only from Yehuda, but specifically from the dynasty of the David HaMelech should be kings. So that's the law. But unfortunately, these people they decided that they are the most holy. Right, as we learned today in halachos tzaddikim, they were holy, but it was a little too much, right? So they decided to control the country by being them from the family Kohen Gadol and the king. Problem. It was on the 25th day of the month of Kislev, so which is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow night, Kislev, that Israel prevailed and defeated their enemies. Okay. They entered the sanctuary and found only one jar of oil, which was pure. It contained only enough for one day, but they lit the light of menorah for 8 days until the until they pressed olives, and they struck pure oil. Right, it's from Rambam Hilchas Hannukah. So meaning, as we're going to see, I think we're going to see, maybe not. So technically, they were not obligated to do that. So the halacha is simple. If everybody is contaminated, and they were contaminated because they were in a war, as we understand, right? They were impure, and the oil was contaminated. So if you don't have any other oil, so technically you can just wait if you want, because you don't have pure oil, or you can start with impure oil. So it's not like this oil is not being put on the altar or something. It's being burned. So in some sense destroyed in some sense. But these people decided we've been waiting for so long, we're not going to compromise. We're going to go according to the best, the highest standards. The sages of the generations of that generation, therefore, decreed that these 8 days, beginning with the 25th of Kislev, be designated the days of rejoicing and praise, right? And that lights be lit at the entrance of the homes at each of these eight nights, right? So we're going to see. So again, we celebrate not the victory, but I mean about victory we say in Alanisim, in what is it? About the victory we say in Birchas Hamazon, right? But in other places we actually celebrate the light. Hashem did this miracle because the military victory did not last, right? Unfortunately, I mean, right. Continue to publicize the miracle, and these days are called Hannukah, inauguration, consecration, right? That could also be interpreted as the word Hanu, meaning they rested, and Ka. Right, Ka, the 25th. Okay. Kufhei. Okay. For on the 25th, they rested from the battle with enemies. Okay, so that's Hanukkah. So there is no coincidences. right in our history. The Talmud, I'm not sure where is it, Talmud. Oh, but probably Shabbos 21b, cites that these days were designated for praise and thanksgiving. So praise, meaning halal, right? We fulfill the obligation of praise in double quotes, by reciting complete halal during Shacharis on all 8 days of Hanukkah. Right? The obligation of thanksgiving is fulfilled by reciting Al Nisim, right, which is inserted in the Shmona Esrei prayer and Birchas Hamazon. Right, so Al Nisim we say in all of the 3 prayers, very, very important. I mean, I think if you missed it, you're going to have to go back. Right? But it's proper not to miss it. Or even though we're not obligated to have formal meals on Hanukkah, right, or like on other holidays, but on Shabbos, we of course we are obligated, and we should remember to include this edition for Hanukkah. Okay, so continue. Actually, you know what? Let me stop.